Hey everybody, so as I'm recording this about a week ago, I launched the favorite Pikmin character poll, which has since closed because it actually did pretty well. Like, I didn't get so many votes, but like, it made the rounds. It got quite a bit of attention, more than I was expecting for sure. I was expecting I would like be working with like 20 votes tops, but we actually got over 80 votes, which was not bad at all. By the way, 80 votes is just the individual responses, but each response contained 5 characters, so in reality, it was a lot more characters submitted than that. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to actually do this video, and it's I mean, look, it's here, it's happening, whoa, I'm doing it. So in advance, there were a few rules on this poll beforehand, and I want to make these rules clear to explain why certain things will be, emphasized. So first off, for characters, I want to make it clear this counts the playable characters, the Pikmin types, the Pikmin 4 castaways, the emails in Pikmin 2, the various ship AIs, just all the alive things with brains, I guess besides the ship AIs, but whatever, you know. This didn't count things like onions or other things that are technically alive or natural that lack any sentience, cause like that felt like it could be too much. I don't want 9,000 votes for the blue onion, alright? You know, I didn't want to count that, but you know, everything else pretty fair. Most other things pretty fair game. Now for that rule, it was pretty much entirely followed. Pretty much every other rule was completely ignored at certain points. So this is gonna be a very interesting video, okay? We're gonna have some fun here, alright? Now of course, this didn't get too many votes. It was again only a little over 80 votes in all, so there's a lot, and I mean a lot of characters that only got 1 vote. So let's go over those first. So real quick, actually, before we get started, before I forget, there are 2 characters I want to bring up because they did not get a single vote, and I find that fascinating, okay? So the only 2, I'd say somewhat major Pikmin characters that didn't get a vote are Dalmo and Russ. So Dalmo, I kind of get him being forgettable, but I don't know, he's so charming. He's a little creature guy. He likes creatures. I really like Dalmo. He's always been my favorite castaway, personally. So that's a bit of a shame that he didn't get one. But Russ really surprised me. This is the guy who gives you items in Pikmin 4, and like, he's a story-relevant character. He's part of the main cast. The other Rescue Corps members all got at least a single vote, so it's really surprising that Russ didn't get a single vote, especially because, like, there's nothing wrong with him. He's kind of funny, and he's cool. I like him. A bit of a shame, but I guess I do get it, because Pikmin 4 has a lot of Rescue Corps officers, and he's definitely the least memorable of them. Like, even his design is kind of boring. I like him because he looks like Professor Farnsworth, and whenever I do his voice, I just do a Farnsworth impression. Ooh, I have a new invention for you! I didn't say it was a good Farnsworth impression. Anyway, let's move on to the 1 voters. This is gonna take a while. So, I'm not going in any specific order, I'm just going from bottom of my list to the top of my list. So, here we go. In the bottom spot, with 1 vote, is Don Bergman. Don Bergman is so funny to me personally. For literally no other reason than the fact that his name is Don Bergman. Every other Pikmin character, I'm pretty sure all of them, only have their first name revealed. Except this guy, who is only referred to as Don Bergman by the game itself. Never just Don or Bergman. Don Bergman, baby. He's so cool, oh my gosh. I actually think he's a pretty charming character otherwise. We don't get much of him, as is the result of a lot of Pikmin 4 characters, unfortunately. But I do like him, and I think his design is pretty good. He does kind of have the problem of, like, all the Pikmin 4 Copites, where he just reminds you of better characters, because, like, you know, I like the fact that he alludes to Charlie, but Man, I kinda miss Charlie. Why weren't they just the Pikmin 3 Copites? I don't know, kinda weird, but I do like him. Next up is Schnauz. I cannot believe Schnauz got a vote, but Dalmo didn't. Are you kidding me? Anyway, Schnauz is fine. He's a treasure appraiser, and he has pretty interesting little, hypotheticals about all the treasures, which, of course, in Pikmin are just random human objects. And they're all charming. It's always pretty charming, but, like, I don't know, out of the two, like, new people who write things in Pikmin 4, he's the less interesting one, okay? Dalmo is adorable, he's got a way more distinguished personality, and Schnauz is just kind of boring. So, whoever voted for Schnauz, I'm glad you like this guy, but I don't really get how anyone could consider him a top 5 favorite character? I don't know, kinda odd. Definitely a benefit of the fact that I allowed people to vote up to 5 characters on the poll. So, that probably helped. Following Schnauz is York. I like York mostly because he's like the only one who is actually mentioned in Pikmin 3 out of the Pikmin 4 Copites, because this is one of Alf's siblings, his older sibling to be precise. Yeah, I don't know. I like him. He's pretty chill. I really like his design. I know that all the Pikmin 4 Copites are just the character customizer, but I don't know. I still like him. He's got a fun attitude. I like him. He's pretty good. Again, just makes me kind of wish it was Alf, but that's fine for what it is. Yeah, look at him. Look at York. He's pretty cool. I would love a game where we get to see York and Alf interact at some point. That'd be really cool. I'd like that a lot, actually. That'd be nice. Next is the Man at Legs. A pretty pitiful showing, honestly, for what I thought one of the most popular Pikmin bosses. I mean, it's a big spider with a gun attached to it. It's pretty awesome. The Man at Legs is so cool to me because, like, what even is it? It's not natural at all. It's clearly mechanical, but it does have, like, some organic parts to it. Was this thing invented by the humans as, like, a pest control thing when these weirder creatures started showing up? I don't know. What are the origins of this thing? It's so cool to me, though. It intrigues me, because it is a really awesome design. Definitely one of the coolest Pikmin bosses, design-wise and conceptually. I was expecting it to do a lot better, though. Like, this is a really, really bad showing for the Man at Legs, but man, he's cool, though. I will never forget playing Pikmin 2 for the first time. I was dreading this thing coming, because everyone was like, oh, the Man at Legs, he's one of the worst. Oh, he's a nightmare, that one. Oh, he's gonna get you. Oh boy. And then I killed him without a single casualty. And he was the final boss I fought before I repaid the debt. It was very satisfying. That's a good Man at Legs story right there. I also think that in Pikmin 4, despite the fight itself being a lot easier, they show the Man at Legs a lot of reverence, because they give him really cool roles. Like, in his story mode boss fight, he guards the GameCube controller, which is one of the coolest treasures in the game, because, like, it's a GameCube controller, it's just cool. But also in Olimar's Shipwreck Tale, he's the final boss. I thought that was really clever. That was a good idea. They know how much fear the gun spider instills in people. These next two are kind of one and the same, so... Alright, we got one vote for Steve the Red Pikmin and Greg the Purple Pikmin. Now, Steve the Red Pikmin, I understand. That's an iconic Pikmin meme. You know, it's one of the earliest Pikmin memes as far as I'm aware. Like, Steve is that first Red Pikmin. That is his canonical name, and you can't prove me otherwise. I don't know who Greg the Purple Pikmin is, personally, but they're probably best friends, if I had to guess. I don't... So yeah, we got those are votes that I got. Pretty cool. I wish Steve got like 9 votes and Greg got no votes, but it is what it is. Next up, we got 1 vote for Skelemar. Yeah. Okay, if I get 1 more stupid vote, I'ma lose it. This next vote is for Goku. So I don't know if you guys know this, but Goku actually is not a Pikmin character. He's actually originating from an obscure anime called Dragon Ball Z. So, you know, honest mistake. Who's next? Oh, an actual Pikmin character! An actual Pikmin character, guys. It's Nell! Nell! So Nell is one of the most important characters in Pikmin 4's story, but despite that, I think she's kind of a very kind of flat character. I see a lot of people shipping her with Louie, which is kind of interesting, I suppose. But I cannot stress enough how much she is not Brittany, okay? Brittany is one of the most well-written, funniest Pikmin characters, and Nell feels like, I mean, it doesn't even feel like she's trying to imitate that, which I guess I prefer. I just wish she was more interesting a character on her own. Anyway, she's okay though. I like her design a lot, I like the pink, I like her interactions with Louie, those are the funniest parts. She is okay. Alright, next up we have the Ujadami, which, I'ma be real with you, I literally don't remember encountering in Pikmin 2 at all. I'm looking at the Pikmin wiki and it looks like they actually appear somewhat rarely, only on days 31, 61, 91, and so on. Which is kind of interesting, I suppose. I don't know, looking at these guys, they're kind of interesting. Like, they appear in swarms of 70, which is kind of crazy. I guess I don't really have much to say just because I've never actually encountered them myself. Next up is the Crusted Rumpup. I really like the Crusted Rumpup. It's one of my favorite new bosses in Pikmin 4, and I think it's very cool looking. Like, this design is great. I also think it's a pretty fun fight, and it's pretty inventive. He's one of the only bosses in the game that really, like, devastated me a couple times. I have lost more Pikmin than I care to admit to this fella. And his rematch later is very fun as well. I don't know, he's just cool. He's a cool boss, alright? One of the more memorable newbies in Pikmin 4, for sure. Following that up is the Scornet Maestro! Woo! So, obviously, you know, the Scornet Maestro is someone I care about quite a lot. I mean, I actually rated the Scornet Maestro the #1 most dateable boss in Pikmin 3, so, you know, that has to account for something. I also just think she's a very cool boss fight. I think she's super fun. She is criminally easy. I do wish she was harder, or the fight was just a little longer, but for what we get, it's so fun. I love the way she orchestrates all the little Scornets. I love her design. She's a very cool boss fight. Again, my only issue is that I wish it was a longer fight, but man, such a cool boss. Next up is the Yellow Wally Hop. So, if you've only played Pikmin's 3 and 4, you probably don't understand that the Yellow Wally-Hop is the single most infuriating enemy in the entire series. And you would only know that if you played Pikmin 1 and 2, because for whatever reason, these things can massacre your entire party in a single just swoop. I don't know. They just infuriate me. I can't explain it. They are some of the most inexplicably dangerous creatures in the entire game series. But only if we're talking about those two games, obviously. They're very easy to deal with in 3 and 4, but man, Pikmin 1 and 2 Wally Hops are oh boy. Whew. Very fun, though. I kind of like that they're so dangerous. It makes it feel a lot more perilous when you see them, just like, you know, I think it better puts you in the mindset of a tiny little guy stranded on a planet that, oh, this seemingly innocent frog monster is the most dangerous thing you will encounter the whole time. Pretty funny. Let's move on. Who on earth voted for the Skitterleaf? I just want to talk, like, I get it. Alright, I get every enemy probably has its fans, but the Skitterleaf? Really? Just, it's a leaf. They barely even hurt you. They're just, okay, whatever. Worth noting that there are 2 varieties of Skitterleaf, and this is specifically referring to the green Skitterleaf. I should clarify that it's the green one, okay? Yeah, I have so little to say about the Skitterleaf. They're kind of cool in concept, but I don't know, kind of whatever. Next up is the Sputtlefish. I think Sputtlefish are pretty cool. They're only in Pikmin 3, unfortunately, but like, man, I don't know. I just like a lot of the more unique water enemies in the series, because there aren't many of them, unfortunately, but these guys are cool. I like that they spread ink. I think their design is super cool. They're just fun. I don't know. I like them. Moving on. So next up is Pumpernickel, who, in case you don't know, is a secret Pikmin character that you unlock in Pikmin 2. Not a lot of people manage to unlock him. It takes a very specific set of criteria, but here he is. It's Pumpernickel. His design is a little weird. He is just kind of a purple Louie, but at least he's not racist, so I guess that's a plus. We'll get to his racist counterpart a little later. Next up is the Honey Wisp. Oh, I love the Honey Wisp. So first off, obvious thing, Honey Wisp is the cutest name for any Pikmin creature, like, ever. I don't even think that's up for debate. They're so adorable. Like, just the name Honey Wisp is so, ooh. Anyway, they're just super cute. I like them. They float around. They give you nectar. They have these little eggs they carry around, and then if you throw it, they drop the egg, and you get the nectar. Wow. I don't know. I always find it fascinating when there's Pikmin enemies, and not enemies, just Pikmin creatures that don't actually act as enemies and just, you know, exist and serve a different purpose. It's cool. It makes the world feel a lot more well-diverse and well-developed. It's cool. It's, yeah, I just like the Honey Wisps a lot. Look how adorable they are. The Mamuta. I think the Mamuta is really cool, let me tell you. They're so cool because, like, what are they? They're another example of Pikmin creatures that don't initially act as enemies, unless you're playing Pikmin 2 for some reason. They only attack if you attack them, which makes me feel really bad. I typically don't attack them if I'm not going for an 100% run. I just think they're neat. The design is super cool. I like that Pikmin 4 revealed they were fuzzy. They were always supposed to be fuzzy, by the way. This isn't a different kind of Mamuta. It was just crappy GameCube rendering, y'all. Like, it's not that deep. But the Mamuta's so cool. I really like him. I like that he's, for some reason, related to the Smoky Prog, which, by the way, did not get a single vote on this poll, which is kind of shocking, considering it's one of the most horrifying monstrosities. I'll take it, though. I don't want to talk about the Smoky Prog, so. Mamuta is awesome, though. We love the Mamuta. Speaking of horrifying monstrosities I don't want to talk about, the Whip-Tongue Bulborb. In Pikmin 4, these things are no biggie. These things are nothing. In Pikmin 3, these things are horrendous, okay? I didn't realize that you could just stun them by hitting their eyes, and now that I've told you that, you know. Do it. Because these things are horrible. They're horrible. They eat so quickly, and they get so many, and they got these gross tongues, and I kind of like them, actually. They're kind of funny. The designs are very funny. I think they're kind of cute. But horrible creatures. Despise. Next up, we got Puffmin. Puffmin are so dang cool because we're never gonna get them again, unfortunately. They're such a cool thing in Pikmin 1 that it's the one aspect of that game they never brought back that doesn't suck. A lot of the things they removed from Pikmin 1 later because they were bad. But Puffmin were awesome, man. The Puffstool in general peaked in Pikmin 1, and I don't really like that in 4. It just does the dance thing. It's fine, but, like, what a downgrade to turning your Pikmin to Puffmin. I don't know, it's just a fascinating concept in general to have your Pikmin turn against you. Plus, their designs are pretty good. I like them. Puffmin are cool. Next is Olimar's son, who I think is pretty cool. He's definitely the most fleshed out member of Olimar's family, appearing in Pikmin 2 and Pikmin 3 a little bit. Ooh, whoa, getting fancy up in here. I also just think he's kind of okay. He's a good motivator for getting Olimar home because he is really sweet, and I really like that he has a good relationship with his dad. That's nice. That's cool. I like that. But I don't know. I don't really like his design very much. And also, I think Olimar's daughter is a lot cuter, and she should have gotten a vote. Like, look at her giant pink hat. I don't know. It's cool. But anyway, Olimar's son is pretty good. I like him. I think they should flesh him out a little more. I kind of want Pikmin 4 to be I kind of want Pikmin 5 to be a rescue mission where we go to save Olimar's son or something. I don't know. It's a good idea. It's a good motivator. Then we have a vote for Grace, one of the Pikmin 4 castaways. I do not remember a single line of dialogue she had. Next up is Santi, who is definitely one of the funniest Pikmin 4 castaways. I just love that he was relentlessly stalked by Bernard of all people. And obviously Bernard has no idea of this. Like Bernard is not maliciously tormenting Santi. Bernard's a good guy. But to Santi, this little freak has just appeared wherever he's been, to the point where he crash landed on a planet only for Bernard to show up. That's so funny. I really like Santi. He's a very funny character, and he gets a lot of dialogue too, which I like a lot. Definitely a big Santi fan. I was kind of hoping he'd do better because he's definitely my favorite of the less useful Pikmin 4 castaways. Following up Santi is Olimar's wife, who is sort of a mixed bag for me because, on the one hand, the descriptions and little bits of information we get about her in Pikmin 1 and 4, I love. I think she sounds great. Then we actually meet her in Pikmin 2, and oh my gosh, I cannot stand the way they wrote her. There is an interesting story to be told about her, you know, missing Olimar and stressing out about him being stuck on this dangerous alien planet, but this was not the way to go about it. It just turns to a bunch of child abuse jokes, and like, I don't like that. I don't like that. Yeah, I don't know. Not a fan of her portrayal in Pikmin 2, especially because it doesn't really go any deeper than just the surface level of, oh, she's going crazy without her husband. Just wish there was a little more to it, is all. Next up, we have Bulby, Olimar's dog. Dude, if we get the whole dog gimmick back in Pikmin 5 and Olimar's the main character, I would love for that dog to be Bulby. I just think Bulby has a lot of potential, and the little, like, drawing we get of him is so cute. I'd love to see more of Bulby. He's awesome. Bulby's my favorite guy, actually. You know what? Actually, forget it. But Bulby's my favorite. Look at him. Next up is a vote for Drake. Not the ship, the SS Drake. Drake as in Alf's grandfather. That is a deep cut. I'll give you, that is a deep lore cut, and I like that. That's a good vote. We obviously don't know Drake at all, but I think that's a cool vote. I respect it, you know? I respect it a lot. Next up, we have a vote for the all-devouring black hole loan sharks. One of my favorite jokes in the entire series is the email where the president is like, "Good news, guys! I found a place to put the money!" And then, oh no! It was the all-devouring black hole loan sharks! No! That's a funny joke. I don't know. It's good. I like these guys a lot. Just from that joke is very funny. I love the president's whole little B plot, but we'll obviously talk a little more about that later on. Next up, we have a single vote for Louie's wife. Yeah. Louie's wife is not canon, and if she is, he made her up for tax purposes. Oh god, I forgot I put this in here. Okay, this next vote is for a specific email in Pikmin 2 that, is a little suggestive. It's a pretty funny bit, especially because the link does not take you to a hookup site. It takes you to Nintendo.com, so that's really funny. I'm not touching this, though. Next up is one vote for the Gatling Groink. That is one vote too many. I cannot stand the Gatling Groink. Its design is really cool, but it is the most infuriating enemy in the series. I cannot explain why even. It just is so annoying. Who's next? Spotty Bullbear. The Spotty Bullbear is scary, man. In Pikmin 1 especially, these things are terrifying, and if you wake him up, it's game over. Run away while you still can. They're also scary in Pikmin 2, obviously, and I like how sparsely they're used in 4, but, like, I think 3 has a total of, like, 1 in the entire story mode, and that is a shame, because they literally look the scariest in Pikmin 3. I wish there were more of them in 3. They probably would have been a lot more frequent in that cut area. Ooh, that's a shameless plug for Pikmin Unearthed. Go look that up. Ooh, great video. Whoa. Anyway, Spotty Bullbear, I really like. Very scary, good enemy. Like it a lot, yeah. Next is the Bearded Amp Rat, who I really like. I just think these guys have really cute designs, and I like their cute little teeth underneath. I think they're neat. I like that we have like a yellow Pikmin-centric enemy that isn't a bug. They're just cool. I like the Bearded Amp Rat a lot. Yeah, that's it. Next is the Peckish Aristocrab, who I was kind of expecting to do better because he's actually, like, in Smash Bros. But, you know, this is still pretty good for him, though. Definitely one of the most creative enemy fights in Pikmin 3. I like that you have to use rocks to break his claw. That's really fun. I like that he shoots out bubbles. He's a little bit less fun to fight in 4, but for his role in 3, for whenever you fight him in 3, it's great. He's definitely one of my favorite new enemies in 3. Next up is the Large Splurchin, which is an enemy in Hey Pikmin, the only game I have not played. I barely know if this counts. I'm looking at the Pikmin wiki, and it kind of just feels like it's more of an object. It's just an obstacle that kind of floats from side to side and instantly kills Pikmin that touch it. Very scary, but like, does this count? I'm putting it on here just to play it safe, because again, I have not played Hey Pikmin, but yeah, not sure. The Creeping Chrysanthemum. I hate these. I hate these so much. I hate their design, especially in 4. They're annoying. But like I can't like say they're bad like in general. They're annoying, but like they're kind of cool because they're one of the only enemies that like just straight up jump scares you. I love that bong noise it plays whenever they pop up. It's very scary and always like just makes you really alarmed, and that comboed with the fact they usually knock all your Pikmin off Ochi is like, it's a good combo to really stress you out. Cannot stand them though. Next up is the Toxstool. So I think this is the way to adapt the Puffstool without bringing back Mushroom Pikmin. Obviously now poison is a hazard, so I think that's a much more fitting change than the dancing. I'm still not over that. Also, I don't know, I just really like the color scheme on this guy. He's pretty cool. That's about it, though. He is one of the, like, quickest bosses in the entire game. Like, you know, you fight him once, he's done. It's a good fight, though. Like, it's a good fight. I should clarify that. Like, he's the first fight in the final cave of Pikmin 4, and it's a good fight. I really like it, actually. Maybe I sounded a little mean. I like the Toxstool a lot, actually. One of my favorite one-off bosses in that game. Next is a vote for Louie's grandma, who I cannot tell if she abused this child or is just the only person that understands him. Either way, I'm kind of down for it from a character perspective, just because either one would shape Louie into the psychopath he is. I do like her, though. Her design is pretty funny, and I like that she is worried about him in Pikmin 2. That's cool. Next up is the Segmented Crobster. Oh boy. Out of every boss in Pikmin 2, besides the final boss, this is the one that absolutely destroyed me the hardest. I think I was fighting this thing for a good, like, 10 minutes. It was so hard. It just... The massacre that this thing inflicted upon my Pikmin was crazy. He's a cool-looking character, too. I like his design a lot. He's very intimidating. Next up is a vote for the Icy Blowhog. I'm not sure if any other Blowhog got a vote in this entire poll, and the fact that it was the Icy Blowhog of all of them to get a vote is really odd, but, like, they're pretty cool, I guess. Like, it's cool. It's an Icy Blowhog. I don't know why I did that voice. Maybe because I have so little to say about the Icy Blowhog that I wanted to do something to make the segment cooler. And maybe I did. Who knows? You don't. You don't know. Next up is, I think that's pronounced Freeze? Freeze is a cool castaway. I like his design and his hobby for, his passion. Sorry, not his hobby. His passion for music. It makes him stand out a lot. He's pretty cool. I like that he gives you the lineup trumpet. That's a nice thing. I do think it's a little silly that they put the last music treasure in the final cave, so he doesn't give you the lineup trumpet till after you've done everything. But, like, he's still pretty cool, and I like that they have it at all, so I'll take it. And our final one-vote character is Bernard. Definitely one of my favorite Rescue Corps officers. I like that he shouts everything. I can relate to that personally. I'm a very loud little guy. But yeah, he's cool. I like his shades. I think he's funny. I don't know, he's just, like, there's no word to describe Bernard other than he's really cool, because he is really cool. Like, you don't understand. Bernard is awesome. Plus, without him, we would never have gotten off the planet. He saved the day. He's the hero. And that's all the one-vote characters, so let's move on to the two-vote characters. This shouldn't take nearly as long, don't you worry. Our first two-vote character is Black Knight from a Pikmin fanfic, I guess. Sure, Sure, I'll count it, why not? He got 2 votes. Good for Black Knight. Is it a he? I don't know. It's Black Knight from a Pikmin 3 fanfic, so that's something. I'm not looking up who this is, I'm sorry. I did it for a couple others, but I'm not doing this one. I wasn't even sure if I was gonna count it, but you guys voted for him, so sure, here he is. Black Knight from a Pikmin 3 fanfic. With more votes than Bernard, Olimar's wife, and also Blowhogs as a whole. Great. Awesome. I hope you're happy. Next up is the Ancient Sirehound. Man, I remember when this thing leaked. I actually only saw the top half of the image, so I just saw its eyes and Louis perched atop. I didn't realize it was even a dog. I saw it and I was like, oh, what is that monstrosity? But then the reveal that it actually was this monstrous, demonic dog was so cool. And it's a great fight, like one of my favorites in the series. The music is insane, he has so much variety in the attacks, just a really cool final enemy. Plus I like the lore implications that he might be the first mutant animal. That's crazy. I mean, it's very cool creature. I really like it. I do want to point out that the only final boss to not get a single vote was the Emperor Bulblax, the final boss of Pikmin 1. That's crazy. It deserves it though. I don't like it very much. The Ancient Sirehound, on the other hand, is absolutely metal. Yep, the pun was entirely intended. Next up we have the Bladed Beeb. Now this is something I just don't even know what to talk about, because this is the final boss of Pikmin Adventure. I don't know anything about Pikmin Adventure, okay? I guess it's kind of cool. It's a big robot, but like this is a sub mode in Nintendo Land. Okay, sure, whatever. The Bladed Beeb, ladies and gents, the final boss of Pikmin Adventure, got just as much votes as the final boss of Pikmin 4. And also got as many votes as the final boss of Pikmin 2. Cause next up's the Titan Dweevil. I think out of all the Pikmin final bosses, this thing is easily the most intimidating immediately. Look at it! Ew! It's a big spider monster covered in treasure, and Louis is controlling it. Of course, you don't know that, but like, he's controlling it. But it's so cool. My jaw dropped when this thing burst out of the ground dramatically. It's so cool. I can see why Pikmin 2 is the fan favorite. Like, this thing is just, it's incredible. What a good final boss. It might be, no, it's not my favorite final boss in the series, but it might be my second favorite, just from the sheer intimidation of it. Wow, what a fight. I will give it the extra spicy bonus of having the best final boss music of any Pikmin final boss. In case you're wondering the ranking, it goes Titan Dweevil, Sirehound, Plasm Wraith, and then the Emperor Bulblax in last. That music sucks. Next up, we have 2 votes for the Quaggled Myreclops. One of the coolest bosses in the entire series. The reveal of this thing is insane. I love that it tricks you, because you're like, oh, look, a fruit. I'm gonna go touch the fruit. Oh my gosh! This thing would have been a perfectly serviceable final boss, and yet it wasn't even, because the actual final boss of Pikmin 3 is just that good. But yeah, I really love the Quaggled Myreclops. Definitely the fight that screwed me over the most in that game the first time I played it, because, like, I was just scared. Like, how do you even fight this thing? Well, look at it! Look at it! Yeah, super cool, though. Next up, we have our lowest voted Pikmin type of all of them. Glow Pikmin. So, I guess that does make sense, given they are mostly relegated to a side mode. But, like, man, Glow Pikmin are so cool, and I love the lore implications, and I love they're just very cute, and they're super helpful, they're OP. They're very cool. I like Glow Pikmin a lot. But I do understand why they are the most forgettable type as well, just because they're the only ones that you don't really take with you compared to everyone else. They are cool, though. I like them a lot. And rounding out the 2 votes, we have Ice Pikmin. Oh man, the Pikmin 4 Pikmin types are struggling, aren't they? I was really surprised by this. I get that a lot of people complain about them making the game too easy, but another thing that people complain about got a lot of votes. We'll get there. But, I don't know. Ice Pikmin are awesome. They're very helpful. I like that they can freeze water. I like that they can freeze enemies. They're just cool. I didn't even mean to do that, so I can't keep recording this part. We're moving on to the 3 votes! Whoa! Kicking off the 3 voters, we have the giant bread bug. So, when this started, there were a lot of votes for the giant bread bug. I think all 3 votes for it appeared in, like, the first couple hours of the poll being open. And I do get it, because the giant bread bug is delightful. Look at him. He trumps about. I love the music that plays when you encounter him. It's so funny. I really like the giant bread bug. He stomps around. He's very funny. I like him. I do wish they called him the loaf bug, though. I wish that was his official name, because loaf bug just... It's a bit clever. I kind of wish that was the actual name, but otherwise, I got no problems with the giant bread bug. And rounding out the 3 votes, yeah, only 2 creatures got 3 votes, is the burrowing snagret! Full disclosure, I did vote on this poll as well, and this was one of mine, because the burrowing snagret is my all-time favorite Pikmin enemy, and I've never actually really gotten to talk about it. But, like, I just think it's so cool. It's a bird head on a snake's body? That's awesome! And he's just, I don't know, he's just so cool looking. But also, it's just, conceptually, I like him a lot. He's just a fun fight, too. I love that he's basically the first boss you fight in Pikmin 1. But you don't fight just one. You fight 3 of them at the same time. That's insane that was the first boss. They appear throughout the series in every game. I love the Snagret chicks they introduced in 4. I love the pelated Snagret, even though I don't think he got a single vote. He did not get a single vote. Just very cool. I'm the #1 Snagret fan. I could just, look at him. It's so cool. Kicking off the 4 vote characters, we have Bulborb. So, I guess I shouldn't be surprised that Bulborb got this high, given it's basically the Goomba of the Pikmin series. And I really like Bulborbs. They appear all over the place, and they're always fun to fight and sneak up behind when they're asleep. I like the dwarf Bulborbs a lot, even if they're not related to them for whatever reason. It's kind of arbitrary and silly, and I don't care for it, but it's fine. Yeah, I just never really get tired of seeing the Bulborb around. Here's hoping they stick around for all eternity. Next up is Dingo. Okay, so I was shocked to see Dingo get this high because I could not stand him the first time I played this game. Like, I did not like Dingo at all, which is really funny because he actually got, like, more votes than most of the Pikmin 4 characters, so points to Dingo, I guess. He was always just kind of complaining about things and acting like he was cooler and tougher than he is, and he's fine. But I didn't see the appeal, but now I get that is the appeal. Sometimes it's funny to have a pathetic character who's just annoying, and he is funny, and I appreciate that now. I like that Yanni drugs him at multiple points throughout this game. Next up is Colin! Whoa, Colin! Oh, it's Colin, guys! Whoa! I like Colin a lot. He's very funny. I like his, I always give him a British accent when I play. It's just, it seems right. I like his voice lines like the and the he's fun. I like him. He's cool. I like his hair. I don't know. I get a lot of charm from Colin. I think he's one of my favorite Pikmin 4 characters. Definitely not my favorite, but probably my second favorite. We'll get to my favorite a little bit later. But yeah, I don't see much you could hate about Colin. He's just a goober. I like that he really tries to be helpful, only to completely fumble it, though. Like, I love in night missions when the creatures break a trick null, he goes, the trick null, and doesn't even manage to, like, convey what actually happened. It's very funny to me. Alright, moving on to the 5-vote characters, we have Fiddlebert. Ugh, okay. So, I think it's a little disgraceful that Fiddlebert got this many votes. He's the secret character that you unlock in Pikmin 1, again, very specific set of criteria. But man, he made some really strangely racially motivated comments, and, you know, Pumpernickel might have done some things bad, but he's not racist. Fiddlebert is unabashedly racist, and I'm not sure why we let him get this many votes. Like, did you hear what he said about the Puerto Ricans? Anyway, I'm not gonna talk about Fiddlebert anymore, because frankly, he kind of disgusts me. Yeah, I don't know. Cool green color, I guess. Great. You're racist, but you're green. Congratulations! Next up, we have the Plasm Wraith. Oh boy, I am so glad the Plasm Wraith got the most votes of the final bosses, because, let me tell ya, this guy is my favorite final boss in the entire Pikmin series, and my favorite final boss in any video game ever. He's just so cool. The fight is so fun. If you screw up, you can lose a lot. It is a little funny that you can basically just rig the fight in your favor with Rock Pikmin, but like even then, you can still get pretty devastated. He's very cool, it's very climactic, and like, I think the biggest thing that he gets right is just like, what is he? Like, the Water Wraith and the Plasm Wraith are very different creatures. Like, what? Where did he come from? Why is he so creepy? I don't know, but I love it. He is easily my favorite final boss in the series. I love his strange fixation on Olimar. Just cool. Just a cool creature. Look at this thing. I really love that we never learned what its motive was for kidnapping Olimar as well. Like, did it like Olimar? Was it raising Olimar, or was there something more sinister? I don't know, but I kind of want to, but also I don't want them to tell me, because the ideas my brain conjures up are so much scarier than what it would actually be. Just a great, weird monstrosity. I love it. Next up are Bulbmen, which I have seen the most comments on people saying they want these things back, and I agree. The Bulbmen are so cool. It's such a cool idea, such a uniquely dark nature-based premise of this parasitic Pikmin that infects a Bulborb and turns it into a Pikmin. That's a cool idea. And they're just so cute. And I don't know, it's just cool. I like that they're immune to all the hazards. I like that you have to kill their mama to get them, which is a little dark now that I say it out loud, but like, they're just fun. It's just a fun thing, and it adds to the uniquely off-kilter world of Pikmin in a cool way. I do like them. I would like them back. Next up is Palm. Now, the thing about Palm is that I did lump in votes for Palm with votes for the Pikmin 4 player character, because they're the same, let's be honest. The Pikmin 4 player character is cool because it's customizable and you can make them look however you want. And yeah, so it is a little hard to talk about Palm as a character when she only really exists in fan fiction and fan works and whatnot. I will say though, if we didn't have the Pikmin 4, like, customizability thing, I think Palm is adorable and would have been a great protagonist. Especially with the Pikmin comics, if you look those up. She is so charming in those. She's basically the main character of those, and she's so funny. I don't know. I do think it's slightly a missed opportunity that we didn't get Palm as the main character when she could have been a really charming viewpoint to follow. Regardless, I do still really like the customization options, because it allowed me to bring my own characters to life and create my own little head story of like what's going on. I do hope they just don't bring it back though. We could just have that be a one-time thing, please. Like, we don't need every game to have a silent protagonist, please. Just one time, it was cool, but let's not do it again. Please. Alright, moving on to the 6-vote characters. To start us off, we have the Bread Bug. So, besides the burrowing Snagret, the Bread Bug is easily my favorite enemy in the series. I just think they're cool. They drag things around, they make the cutest little noises, their designs are perfect. I adore the Bread Bugs, and my 2 favorite caves in the series are the 2 Bread Bug caves. I think they're both just fantastic. I believe it's Glutton's Kitchen and Plunder Palace, if I'm not mistaken off the top of my head. I don't have it written down, I'm sorry if I was wrong. I love those caves, I love Bread Bugs, they're so charming. And I like that they're a unique type of, like, in the relationship between, like, Pikmin and the enemies, they're a unique kind of enemy where instead of eating them, it's a rival stealer, right? They're also trying to carry things back to their nest. It's just a really clever idea, and I like how much they're used. I do wish they were in Pikmin 3. It's kind of weird that that's the one game they're not in, because they would fit right in, but it's fine. I still really like them. Coming up next, we have the Groovy Longlegs. Yeah, the amount of votes this thing got did not surprise me, because after Pikmin 4 came out, this thing was everywhere. Easily the most popular new enemy from this game, and it's not even close. And I get it. The music that plays during this boss fight is so cool, and it syncs up so well with the fight. It's great. I love the dancing gimmick. I know I've complained about it a lot thanks to the Puff Stool also using it, but like, with this guy, it's awesome. It works a lot. I also just love the uniquely dark premise that he forces the Pikmin to dance so he can crush them. It's cool. His design is great, is very intimidating. He's massive. I just really like the Groovy Longlegs, and I get why he has such a fan base. Let's move on to the next. Next up, we have the White Pikmin. Oh boy. So, I have a bit of a unique history with the White Pikmin. One of my first videos on this channel was the ranking of every Pikmin by cuteness, where I ranked the White Pikmin in dead last. I regret this so much. These might be my favorite Pikmin type, besides that one other one that we'll get to a little later. I love them. They're so cute. I didn't realize how tiny they were. I love their red eyes. I love their, like, they're like, they have, like, their hands are like a little pink. It's great. They're so cute. I have a plush of one. His name is Commander Wolf. Plus, I think the poison gimmick is really cool, and in Pikmin 4 especially, they're very helpful with the amount of poison hazards there are. No notes on the White Pikmin. I really love them now, and I regret my slander previously. Rounding out the 6 voters, we have Shepherd. So Shepherd is cool because she's definitely the most developed character in Pikmin 4. With a whole log to her name and a ton of dialogue, and she has a really distinct personality. I really like her design too, because it's really unique, and I love her hair. Just a really solid character design. That's really good. She is a very fun character. She has a lot of funny parts. I like that she's kind of a coward, but it doesn't stop her. Like, it would have been so easy to make her a complete phony, but I like that she is a genuinely competent captain. She is just also a scaredy cat of all these weird aliens. It's really charming, and I like her a lot. I definitely get why she got so many votes. She is not the most popular Pikmin 4 character, or my favorite. We'll get there soon. But yeah, her design is really cool, man. Alright, next up we have the 7-vote characters, starting with the Water Wraith. So out of all of the Pikmin enemies throughout the entire series, the Water Wraith has the most votes, with 7, which is pretty crazy. That's a high number given how many enemies there are throughout the series. But yeah, the Water Wraith, pretty dang awesome. I get the hype with this thing. You're minding your own business in a cave like usual, when suddenly this thing drops from the sky and just imposes itself upon you. It's so scary and interesting, and I really love it. Definitely one of the most memorable boss fights in Pikmin 2, for sure. What a frightening creature. Definitely, like, I get the relevance. Everyone talks about the Water Wraith. And yeah, they brought it back in Pikmin 4. I do wish that it had a different cave. Like, it is it's pretty much just a remake of its cave in Pikmin 2, but it's still cool. And they make up for it by using it in more unique challenges later on, but yeah, still, the Water Wraith for sure earned its spot as the most popular Pikmin enemy of all time. Also, let's just talk about its design. It's so creepy. It's just this humanoid water thing with these giant rollers. Just very scary. I like it a lot. And rounding out the 7 vote characters, yep, there's only 2, is Rock Pikmin. I love Rock Pikmin! Look at them. Rock Pikmin are some of my favorite Pikmin just because they're so unique and so helpful. Definitely the most helpful type in Pikmin 3. They also just have the best voices. Like, they sound so cute. I love their sounds. I love their little limbs. I love their big googly eyes. They're so good. Just good, very good. That's all I have to say. I like them a lot. Alright, starting off the 8 vote range, we have Winged Pikmin. My favorite Pikmin type, personally. I just think they're super adorable and super helpful, especially in 3, when they carry things over all the walls. Like, they're just handy. They're handy to have around, and they have a ton of use in 3. I will say, though, I want to make a note because, man, they're just not the same in 4. I don't know what it is, but they're just not nearly as helpful. I barely use them in 4, but still, it is still nice they're there. And for how good they are in 3, it makes up for them. Plus, they're so cute. They have the voices are so cute. They have these big blue eyes. I can't talk about them rationally. I love them so much. I do want to formally apologize for only calling them fairy Pikmin in my Pikmin cuteness ranking, because, like, I don't think they've been referred to as fairy Pikmin a single time by anyone other than me. I don't even know where I got that name. Winged Pikmin are great. Next up are Red Pikmin, they're iconic. They are the iconic Pikmin type. They're the mascots of the series. They run around, they're immune to fire, they have those sharp noses that they use to stab things. You know the deal. You know the deal with Red Pikmin, you get it. They're the Red Pikmin, you know? They're just so... Yeah, I don't know. They're probably my least favorite type, if I'm being honest. Which, I don't know if that's blasphemy or anything, but, like, they're just kind of basic. I do like them, but still. All my Pikmin are great. They're great. They're great. They make no mistake, they're great. But they are just kind of a little basic for my taste, and they kind of lack any real distinct feature. The nose is cool, but, I don't know. Your body's not made of rocks, and you don't have big ears, so, sorry. I do like them still, though. I would, obviously, they should be the starter Pikmin in every game. I feel like that is completely, like, duh. I get that there's a reason they're always the first. Rounding out the 8 vote characters, can you tell I'm getting very tired? It's Yanni! Alright, this is what I was alluding to, because this guy is the most popular Pikmin 4 character out of the, like, story Rescue Corps cast. And he is, for sure, my favorite character in the game. Yanni is so funny. He has so many good lines, and he's a little creepy, which makes him even better. He just has so many weird moments where you're like, what did he mean by that? Like when he's studying those 2 creatures breed on the ship. Like, why was he doing that? What could he possibly have needed to know? I don't know, but he's so funny. He's great. Also, for sure, my favorite design of the Pikmin 4 cast. Like, look at him. That's just a perfect design. He looks great. Love Yanni. Easily my favorite. Let's move on to the 9 vote characters. Oh, sorry, did I say characters? I meant character, because the only thing to get 9 votes was the purple Pikmin. Yeah, that's pretty expected, I think. Purple Pikmin are pretty iconic and popular in the fan base, though I don't think they're the most popular, and that was pretty clearly proven by the 2 I did think were the most popular. Still, 3rd is about right to me. They're very powerful, obviously. They make 2, like, a lot easier just because of how much of a punch they pack. And I like them in 4 a lot. I ended up using them a lot more in 4 than I did 2, because the thing with 2, they're so slow. Like, agonizingly slow in 2. Like, horribly slow. Still, though, Purple Pikmin are pretty epic, and this is a good spot for them. I like them a lot. They have, I really love the little, like, appendages they have on their faces. I don't see many people talk about that, but it's a really cool design quirk, and it makes them stand out a lot. I like them. Next up with 10 votes, just missing out on the top 10, we have Captain Charlie. My favorite. Just kidding, he's not my favorite. I love Captain Charlie, though. He's a very funny character with a lot of, like, subtle development. I talked about this in my pretty bad and rushed Pikmin Captain ranking video. Sorry, I don't like that video at all. I think it's cool to have a military-like character in your Pikmin game. Comparing the Pikmin to soldiers dying on the battlefield, giving them a moment of silence. It's cool stuff. Plus, I do love that in the US version, they remove his weird crush on Brittany. I don't like that. He's much better as just being, like, this kind of egomaniac, but he's still really sweet. I don't know, I like him. He's very Zap Brannigan core to me. I like him. I gotta come up with, like, a different thing to say than I like him, but you're gonna hear it for the rest of these slots, so you just accept it. Moving on! Top 10 time! So next up with 12 votes, in 10th place we have the Blue Pikmin, the second most popular Pikmin type, which, I'm gonna be real, I thought these guys were gonna win. I see a lot of Blue Pikmin love. But yeah, I mean, they're Blue Pikmin. I see a lot of people saying they've gotten more useless with each game. I don't really agree. Because I always need them, because there's always stuff underwater. Plus, in general, they just make it a lot less stressful because you don't need to worry about water. I think they're still very worthwhile, and I like them a ton. Like, just gameplay-wise, they still function. I don't think they're useless at all. Plus, I think they have the perfect Pikmin design. Very simple, but with one extra detail that just, it makes all the difference. I love their little gills that look like a little frowny mouth. It's very cute. I like it a ton. Plus, it's very funny that there's a subtle running gag where in all the marketing, the Blue Pikmin are being, like, murdered. I don't know, that's just really funny to me. Blue Pikmin rule! Next up with 14 votes, we have Moss. So for a good while, Moss was beating that other dog in the poll. But, yeah, obviously that changed pretty drastically. But Moss is awesome. I really like Moss. She has a ton of personality compared to the other dog, and I really love her bond with Olimar. It's very sweet. And I love her phony bond with Louie. That jerk ditched her. You monster, how could you do that? She looked so sad. Yeah, I like Moss. She's very loyal. She's got a lot of personality. I love her squinty eyes that suggest a lot. But yeah, I really like Moss. I love her role as Olimar's bestie in this game and his loyal comrade throughout all his wacky adventures. It's great. She makes a good secondary antagonist, unwitting secondary antagonist, obviously, and I just like her green color scheme a lot. She just has a cool design. Cool stuff. I'm glad she got this many votes. With 14 votes is the Yellow Pikmin. Yeah, Yellow Pikmin are awesome, and I guess I shouldn't be surprised that they are the most popular Pikmin type. They just have a lot going for them. They definitely have the most unique design of the original three with their big ears. Love those ears. Dim ears, as I said before. But also, in gameplay, they're definitely the most interesting of the original three, with the most unique stuff. In Pikmin 2, they're super helpful because they're immune to electricity, which is like the biggest whopper hazard in that game. And in 3, they're super cool because they can conduct electrical currents, and that's really fun in general. I do wish they had more to do in Pikmin 4, but there are like 9 types in that game, so it is not that surprising that they don't have a lot to do. It's fine. I will give it a pass. Oh, and who could forget their iconic role in Pikmin 1 where they're the only Pikmin that can hold bomb rocks for some completely arbitrary reason. I do like Pikmin 1 now, by the way, I should clarify. Like, I know I said I didn't like it very much before, but now it's really grown on me. I like Pikmin 1 a lot. But it does have a lot of weird things like that that are really easy to make fun of. Anyway, Yellow Pikmin. They are for sure awesome, and I'm glad they are the most liked Pikmin type of all of them. Like, even ignoring the very subjective nature of this poll, I think that's a pretty safe bet for the fan base at large. I don't know. In 7th place, with 17 votes, is Ochi! Aw, Ochi. So, Ochi is pretty commonly criticized as making the game way too easy, but he's also the best boy. Look at him, he's so cute. He's just this adorable doggy dog who helps you out in your adventure, and it is such a brilliant idea to frame the second half of the game about Ochi getting sick and you need to find a cure for him. Because you so naturally get attached to Ochi just by using him throughout the game that, like, oh no, now he's in danger? That's not good. It's a really clever idea, and he's just so endearing. His animations are adorable, his little barks are so cute. He's just cute, okay? Ochi's just cute. He is a cute character in a series full of cute characters. I also just think it's really special that you kind of naturally form a bond with Ochi, because, like, he's your partner throughout the whole game. You get to spend a lot of one-on-one time with him, and I think the lack of dialogue kind of enhances it, because you can interpret what their dynamic's like. It's really special. In 6th place, my personal favorite Pikmin character, with 17 votes, is Brittany. This pleased me so much that she got so many votes, because the Brittany haters can finally be silenced. She is one of the top 10 favorite Pikmin characters on this poll. She beat Charlie and every single Pikmin 4 character, including the dogs. Brittany is amazing, you guys. She is the funniest Pikmin character, besides Louie, no stop. All her lines are funny, and she's also just got a really endearing, feisty personality that I love. I love her passion for botany, and her passion for food, and her passion for Alf. She really likes Alf. I really like their dynamic specifically. It's my favorite bit of like the banter between them and Pikmin 3 is my favorite. It's so endearing. She's just great, and I love her design too, with the pinks and the glasses. She's just awesome, you know? I love Brittany. And if you don't like Brittany, I don't know, die. That was crazy. No, don't die. You're fine. She's just a fictional character in a video game. We don't need to get mad over her. But, like, I do think that the Brittany hate is really odd and overblown. When she didn't do anything wrong, okay? Oh yeah, and also her interactions with Louie are gold. I love that she just immediately hates him. That's really funny. In 5th place, also 17 votes, we have Alf. Yeah, I mean, it's Alf, you know? He's just a little guy. I was really short with Alf on my my Pikmin captain ranking. Again, I don't like that video very much, and my segment with him was really short, but truth be told, I really relate to Alf. I just find this short, smart engineer so endearing and easy to project upon, I will admit. And it would have been such an easy thing to fall into, where the rest of the crew just undervalues his input on the team. But that's not the case. They all respect Alf and respect his opinions on things, and they all take everything he says into consideration. He's a valued member of the team. And a lot of Pikmin fan artists, y'all's art is great, don't really realize that, usually have them, like, look down on Alf, and I don't like that because that's not the dynamic and it bothers me, but it's fine. Again, y'all are all very talented, and y'all are keeping this fan base alive, so I can't complain too hard. Love Alf, though. Look at him. He's got a perfect design, too. He's adorable. Alright, in 4th place, with 18 votes, we have the President. So, the President getting this many votes was, like, kind of a surprise to me, but then, no, wait, he's a character in Pikmin 2, far and beyond the most popular game in the series. Of course he got this many votes. Yeah, the President is, he's pretty funny. That sounded weird. Yeah, anyway. I love the President. I love how money-hungry he is. I love how he yells at Olimar. But, like, ignore all that. His design is great, also. I should mention that. His subplot over emails is the funniest thing in the series. Like, it's not even close. His situation just keeps getting worse. I love when he's like, oh, I'm trapped under the bridge, but the animals are my friends now, so that's cool. And then the next email, oh, the animals all left me. Or like, oh no, someone took the animals away. Someone took the animals away. It's just... It's so sad, but also he completely deserves it for being a greedy pig. I just really like it. He's a very funny character, and like, kind of the main antagonist of Pikmin 2 if you think about it. But, whatever. Definitely get the president love. Alright, in third place with 19 votes, I feel I should add a disclaimer that this poll was retweeted by a person whose account was, like, completely themed around this character, so that might have had something to do with this character's boost in votes. However, I will not deny that I was absolutely shocked to find the Hockatate Freight Ship AI, aka Rusty, apparently, in the top 3 under, you know who the top 2 are, come on, it was obvious. But yeah, the Hockatate Freight Ship AI is a character I hated the first time I played 2. I did not like that it kept interrupting me and freezing the entire game in unskippable cutscenes. Like, y'all really complain about 4's cutscenes and tutorials being too long, but at least you can skip through most of it. You can't skip through the Hockatate ship. It just keeps going. Plus, its personality was generally annoying and it kept complaining. I'm saying all this to say, it has grown on me a lot. I like it now. I can appreciate the really funny parts and its dynamic with Olimar and Louie. I do wish Olimar and Louie could also talk back to it, or to each other for that matter, but it's fine. For what it is, they did the best they could, and I do like the AI a lot more now. It's a cute character, and I like it. It's funny. But regardless of my more mixed opinion, it's clear that this thing has a massive fan base that I was just completely unaware of. I've only heard people complain about this thing, so I think it's really cool that it made it so high. Like, top 3 is insane, but really cool for a character I don't like to make it this high. And I say I don't like, I like it now, okay, yay! But yeah, congratulations on getting your guy this high. That's really cool. Let's move on to the obvious top 2. Starting with, in second place, Louie, who got 44 votes! We jumped from 19 to 44! Oh man, what even do you say about Louie? This chaotic entity is for sure my favorite Nintendo antagonist, just because it's so unique to have a character that, like, you play as at first grow into the main villain of the series. He's just so chaotic. He controls the minds of the final bosses in Pikmin 2 and 4. In 3, he's a maniac who steals your juice and then explodes. That's cool, I guess. Awesome. Look at him go. Plus, despite barely having any dialogue, he has so much character. And depth, too. That's something I never see anyone talk about. But in Pikmin 4, they flesh out a really interesting motivation with him not wanting to go back to Hockatate. He just wants to live on PNF 404 because he feels more at home there. That's very interesting and adds a lot of sympathy to an otherwise pretty one-note chaos character. I love it a lot, and I don't see anyone ever talk about that part. Plus, I mean, he just has so many other traits, like his insane Dandori ability. For a character that everyone calls lazy, he just immediately destroys you in every battle. It's so funny. Plus, who could forget his culinary expertise? He loves food, but I love that that's not like, he's not just like a fatty who he'll eat anything. He's not just like, I'm lazy and I eat the food. That would be that's the easy, lame joke to make. No, he is a talented chef, and all of his Peaklopedia entries on all the creatures are about how he would cook them. That's so funny. Yeah, we should have taken the red flags when we saw him. He's just such a unique character for a Nintendo game, and I love him for that. And everyone else should too. However, it was very obvious that first place was only gonna go to Captain Olimar, who got 58 votes, winning the poll by a mile. I mean, what else can you say? You know, he's Captain Olimar. In Pikmin 1, he's an excellent protagonist who adds a ton of sympathy to the plight. He wants to go see his family, and it makes the journey feel personal. Plus, like, that's a realistic motive for a character to have. He wants to see his family. He's just a guy who got trapped in this really unfortunate situation, and I think that's so cool. Pikmin 2 obviously does kind of screw up in the case where just the characters don't talk, so, you know, that's a bummer. But then in Pikmin 3, he gets a lot of screen time. Mostly at the end, he's very charming, but the whole mission is to find him, and there's an ongoing mystery of whether he's even alive. I love that. And in Pikmin 4, he basically plays as the main antagonist for the first half of the game, as he's brainwashed by the Don Tori. And we get to see what a cool, villain he can be. He's obviously not actually evil, but he's still your #1 adversary. And then after you cure him of his affliction, and he joins you at the base, I love how much of just like a chill dad he becomes. He's so fun to just talk to, because he's so nice. He's just such a sweet guy. It's impossible to dislike Captain Olimar. Plus his writings in the Piclopedias are so, charming. It's so eloquent and well written, and he's such a well-spoken guy, which is very unique as well. I love that he's very sophisticated while also being down to earth. He's got a natural bond with the animals. I love that Louis has to manipulate the animals by force and Olimar just befriends them. It makes an interesting parallel. I love that he doesn't notice that Louis is a psychopath. That's really funny. I love his voice, how deep it is. It really caught me off guard when I beat Pikmin 3 for the first time, because I had only seen his design in Smash and I'd never heard his voice. And then he talked and he was like, "Ooh, what the whoa?" I was like, "Whoa, deep voice." Yeah, no, it's Olimar. He is my favorite protagonist in any video game, and I don't see that changing. Please let him be the main character of Pikmin 5, I'd like it a lot. Oh, I am out of breath. That was the Pikmin poll results. There you go, everybody. Everyone is here. Not really, there's a lot of characters who didn't get votes, but still, I'm shocked that this turned out as well as it did, and we got so many votes. That means a lot. Thank you so much. The channel's been expanding a lot recently. The Aardman video did really well, which I'm thrilled about. I hope this one also does well. If it doesn't, this is gonna be really embarrassing to put at the end of it, but thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time. Thanks. Also, if we hit 1,000 subscribers, I have a very special ranking video planned. Ooh, it's gonna be really stupid, so that must entice you to get me there. Ooh, get me to 1,000 so you can see the stupid ranking video. Ooh. Oh yeah, Patreon too, also that, bye!